My housekeeper called to tell me that my entire door frame was falling apart. I got this message from the cottage at my bush place, and the place in the African bush, and I dashed up there. This was at my guest cottage to look, and lo and behold, these termites had been eating away at the frame, and we could just literally put our fingers through it. Now, fortunately, we caught it in time before this had gone through the rest of the house, and literally I was left with this crumbling around me. But these termites reminded me of the insidiousness of money printing by governments. And this is a way that our currencies get devalued, where governments print money to essentially pay for debt. And now, right now, we're sitting in a situation where the US has unprecedented debt. And the only way to overcome that, to actually pay for it, is the government now to print more money. Otherwise, they have to do austerity methods, and no government ever wants to do that because, hey, to tell people we're going to raise your taxes, spend less, cut back your benefits is a sure way to get voted out. So to stay in, which is really the short-term interest of what happens, is printing money is the easy thing to do. This is what happened in COVID. And so what happens with that, the value of the currency gets devalued because there's X amount of value in the market. Now, if you print more money, there's still the same value. It means each individual note or dollar or pound or euro is worth less. This is the same thing that happens when companies just issue more shares. The value of each individual share gets reduced because the company still just has X valuation in the market. And so now your dollar, your pound, your euro is worth less, so it buys less, and so we have this inflationary pressure, so prices go up, so we have higher inflation. And then we have governments going, well, we've got to control inflation, that's out of control, so let's increase interest rates. So interest rates go up, and we have these spirals of doom really that start happening, because now what happens, the debt that the governments owe gets more expensive because, yes, their interest rates go up. They can't afford that, so they print more money, and this vicious spiral happens. So I'm not about here to tell you to slit your wrists, although this is the end of the financial world as we know it. No, it's a huge, big industry. But what is important to know is that, one, your cash must not sit in cash. Yes, you want to have a cash safety net, an emergency fund. There's elements of the cash that you live on, operate with. But cash is not king. Cash, just sitting in cash, is making you poorer each and every day. In inflationary environments and high interest environments, it's one of the worst things you can be doing. You must get the cash converted into assets. Being invested in a range of different asset classes is the only way you maintain your buying power, you maintain the value of your hard-earned money, and you keep growth. So that can be in equities, a great asset class, real estate, put it into fixed income generating assets, put it into loan instruments, whatever it is, you've got to get that money working. Cash is not king. So understand the consequences of inflation, interest rates. So don't let the financial equivalent of those termites eat away at the very foundation of your well-being. Being informed, having knowledge is how we get the power to have our own back and live our wealthy life. And most importantly, have our money working hard for us, not somebody else.